Hello, good morning. I hope that everyone that celebrates Christmas had a beautiful day yesterday. I am so happy to be working today. My kiddos are with their dad for a couple days. I get them back on Wednesday, and then I'm going to enjoy 5 days off with them. So I'm really excited, but I'm super happy to be working today and feel kind of filled up after a busy holiday couple of days. So today we are going to hop on and talk a little bit about stress management. I'm not sure where Michaela is, but I'll just kind of move forward and hope that she joins. Oh, there she is. And I did a poll last week, and there she is. Made suggestions, which is super, super helpful. So we're just gonna kind of, hi. So we're gonna kind of dive in, and each week we're gonna go with whatever your suggestions are. So if you guys have any suggestions on what you want us to talk about in our weekly Facebook Lives, then please post or send us a message, and I'll try to do kind of intermittent polls because that was a really awesome way to get some insights. Yeah.
Yes.
So today we're going to talk about stress management and 3 ways to help with it. So the first one that we wanted to suggest is breathing,
Right.
which sounds really, really basic, but oftentimes we're not breathing, or we're not having full diaphragm breathing, which is what is beneficial to our bodies to help neutralize our nervous system. So
Right.
the type of breathing that we wanted to suggest is 4-4-4 breathing. So you inhale for 4, hold for 4, and then release for 4. And try to do that at least like 4 rounds of it. And it can be any time in your day. It could be in the car at the stoplight. It could be laying on the floor of the bathroom. It could be in your bed. It could be anywhere.
Like nobody has to know.
Office.
Nobody has to know that you're doing it. So it's a practice that you check in with yourself. I do it on when I'm online at the grocery store, or Patricia said, I thought you said 4-4-4 reading. No, breathing.
Breathing.
So, when we're stressed and there's stressful situations going on, we end up doing this shallow breathing, which actually makes us stress a little, like even more. And so when we act from a stressed place, it just adds more and more into it. You're just, feeding into things. And so just tuning in, it just does so many different things. It actually relaxes your nervous system. It gives you that moment to reflect and pause and say, oh, do I need to even engage in this, or just sometimes it's easier to let shit go. It's
right.
So, and it's so simple. So let's do it all together.
And it doesn't take a lot of time.
So let's do it again together, because I always love to
all right.
find an excuse to breathe. So you breathe in for 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. 2, 3, 4. And then you exhale. 2, 3, 4. So that automatically just gives your body more oxygen as well, gives your brain just a moment. So since it's 4-4-4, just do it for 4 rounds. It's something we made up, but I've done it, and it's beautiful. It works beautifully.
Yeah. Awesome. So that's the first suggestion. The second one that we came up with today is to dance it out. So put on your favorite channel on whatever you use to listen to music, and pick one song, just one song.
Or
that's like, what's the average song, like 3-4 minutes? You can do that, and you can do it with your kids. You could do it with your spouse. You could do it with a coworker. You could do it you can do it by yourself. It doesn't matter, but it's a really great way to just be like, you know what, life is fun. And the thing that the thing that was stressing me out just a moment ago, it can just kind of reset the energy in the whole room. Whoever's involved, if the kids are bickering, just be like, TV timeout, we're dancing. And even if somebody's like fighting it, who can not
So
dance,
I got this
you know?
idea from Grey's Anatomy, and Maya and I watch it. And anytime they're in like a funk, they dance it out. They like kind of turn off the lights, and then, you know, they have different songs that they dance to. And I know somebody that does it, and they do it the same song. So it automatically creates this response for your body to just get in a happy place. And
Yeah.
once you get out, you cannot stay in the same place that you were when you began. So, you know, again, as you do with the breath, you're tuning into your body, and you're, you know, because stress tends to get stuck in our body, and then it gives us, you know, brain fog, it gives us illnesses. And so you're actually able to use whatever pisses you off, shake it off, and then end up, you know, on the other side and become stronger for it. And it's also, you know, a great little cardio exercise. And you could do this alone. So you can like take yourself to the, I've actually haven't danced out, but I've actually stretched and like breathed and move. Like I like to do hip circles. So I do that in the bathroom. Like if I'm at a restaurant and I need like a moment to myself, I go to the stall and I just like, I breathe, I like do arm circles, and I'm just kind of like, I love circles, you know? So I dance it out. But you could do this with your kids or your partner.
Yeah.
And it could be like your thing.
Yeah. It's funny that you said had, you know, to use the same song, because it's neat, because it could be similar to like with your breathing, like having one mantra that helps to reset you. So it could be a song, but it's really funny because there's this one song, it was played a lot this summer, but it's a Shawn Mendes song, and he like totally like jams out in it. And so I've like, as a joke, because this summer to go to the pool, it's like a 1 mile drive, so we'd pick like one theme song to go like from a house to the pool. Aww. And then like that, if that song came on, I would like be driving my minivan, like jamming it out. And then like, so now it's so funny because my kids and my boyfriend, like every time they hear it, they just like think of me, and then they like have to jam it out. It's so funny. So it's interesting to hear you say that.
Right.
It was happening without me even knowing.
And we continually say in here, like we are, you know, we are the example that we're set in our home. When we're stressed, you know, we're teaching our family members, our kids, our partners that, you know, this is normal. It's not normal. There's ways you can cope with it. And if they see like, oh, wow, mom got, you know, really frustrated, and she usually yells or whatever we do when we're upset, but she danced it out, and like we, you know, we started painting, or we got more creative, because you end up like tapping into that chakra when you're moving, you know, into like the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, where it's like all creativity and self-confidence. And so you're awakening, like, you know, goddesses back in, you know, wherever they used to dance, they used to get in a circle and move and, you know, connect with their breath. And like, we kind of like stopped that and became so rigid, and like we want to create more flow, and so it creates more flow into your house, you know, into your whole
right. And the thing is like as the women of our households, we like, you know, they say like happy mom, happy kids, you know, so we're modeling the behavior. So if we're stressed, then you're often going to see the kids stressed, because they are and I know I do that. Like if like one of my kids or a family member is stressed, I take it all in, and it's just kind of innate.
But think about it.
We're control, but
there's so many things that happen. We overeat, we sleep worse. You know, we just have a lot of stuff on our mind that just doesn't need to be there. And I realize when I can transfer, like, and just be in that free state, like all of that just like dissipates, right?
Yeah.
So, so that's a beautiful thing. And then tip number 3, we have, so Maya and I are reading a book. All these things are just from these things that we're doing, and we pick up as we go. So we love to share it. And we're reading the book, A Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes, who's the writer of Grey's Anatomy. She's amazing. And she has this thing in there that she talks about, you know, when her kids ask, let's play, you know, her response before was like, oh, well, I have this to do. Go. And it comes from that place of like, oh, you know, and your kids could feel that. So there was a moment that changed her life. And, you know, the way she talks about it, she was going to some like maybe Oscars or like a big event.
And she was wearing a big
beautiful dress. and her child, and she works a lot, like as we all do, and she was 15 minutes late already, and her 2 or 3 year old was like, "Mom, do you want to play?
Want to play?"
2 words, want to play? And this moment was, she could have said, "No, baby, I gotta go, I'm late," but she actually dropped down with her gown and started playing. Took her 10, 15 minutes, but she got to the place like filled with love. And she was like, I felt like I just tapped into the secret of love, which we all have around us, but we need to learn how to be open for it. And things will resolve, it was fine. She worked out. Her dress was a little ruffled, but who cares? She was happy. She was glowing. And so she's like, since that moment on, she vowed that when her kids ask to play, she's like, those 2 words, want to play? She always says yes. And she goes, after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they get bored of me and they want to play with something else.
Right. So, right. And she said that about even her teenage or, preteen child. Like if she wanted to talk or whatever, however, the older daughter initiated it, it was like, even she, because you think of like a baby or a toddler, yes, their attention span is very short. But an older child, maybe not. But even she was satisfied with that. And then she got to a place where she was actually initiating the mom, as the mom initiating the play because it filled her up so much. And I know I've made an effort to really start doing this with my kids in like maybe a month or 2 ago, where instead of getting home and emptying out the lunch boxes and starting to prepare for dinner and making lunches for tomorrow, right when I got home, I just drop the stuff on the floor and I go, play.
Yeah.
What do you want to play? And that has shifted so much in like the neediness and interruptions with when I am preparing the food. Sometimes it's fine for them to help, but sometimes like my son especially is like just getting all up into stuff and making everything take much longer than it needs to. And then it stresses me out, so it's a bad cycle. And, but I noticed that just spending that 5 to 15 minutes with him, and then I do it again because my son gets home and then my daughter gets home. So I do it kind of for both of them to kind of connect. So if I do it with him first, they're less likely to fight because they're not fighting, like even though they're fighting each other, they're trying to get my attention. Yeah. So it prevents that. And then it makes it so that they're less interrupting me on an individual basis too. So it works out really nicely. And then I feel it's true. I get filled up by just, playing Legos.
That's what life is about. And this came to me because I spoke to a few women here and they were saying that, because they are so stressed, this is the main purpose of this group. It's for stress, overworked moms, which we all are. Like, there's just impossible to be like, life is great and everything takes care of itself because we have so much that we need to take care of. And a lot of women were saying that they are losing that being in the moment with their kids and learning how to do that, and this is a great way. And maybe, setting a rule for yourself, where you do this once a day, where you get to play for 15 minutes. And I know, some of you work, early morning and then come home late. So, as soon as you come home, just play. Or if you have morning time and you can incorporate some play into that as well, if you're with your kids, that will fill you up for your work day like no other.
Right. And you can, like,
it doesn't have to
the dishes will get done. The dishes will get done. It doesn't have to happen now. So you got to let go of that stuff so that you can fill yourself up, because it just is going to help everybody in the household. So,
right.
Gosh, it feels good to talk about this stuff.
I know.
I'm just so happy to be working today. No. So anyway, that's the 3 suggestions today. Obviously, there's many suggestions that we can come up with for stress, but we wanted to just simplify it into 3 today. And if you guys have
if you have a fun one that works for you, just start a conversation. And inform us.
Yeah. So if any of you have any other suggestions on things that you want us to talk about, if you have some other questions about stress management, definitely send us a comment below or send us a message. And also, if you would like to set up a time to work with us on the phone where we can schedule you and create a plan for your life specifically, we'll share the link below to schedule a breakthrough call.
So I hope everyone's having a beautiful, beautiful holiday week, and we'll be back in the new year, right? To do our Facebook Live.
Yeah. Is it New Year? Yeah. I think you're right.
Next
yeah,
week.
Because next Monday, yeah. So we're gonna do another Tuesday next week, and then we'll be back to the Monday schedule.
So we'll see you.
All right. Love you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.